Happy birthday.
Thank you, sir.
To me.
I failed in getting you a birthday present. I actually intended to, and my week is done.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't give me a birthday present.
It starts a vicious cycle. I didn't want to do that, but
because
I was hoping to spot the perfect thing. I didn't want to do the gag gift.
The gag gift. Yeah, I think the gag. I know I'm making noise and makes this part of the incredible
Although
stuff.
I thought I could maybe give you the jellyfish pills as a gag gift, and then you'd try them just because you had them.
The jellyfish. If they called them the jellyfish pills, I probably would take them then. So wait a second. If you gave it to me, what's the twist?
The twist would be that you go ha ha ha, then you take them home with you, and then you'd have
next
them
week.
You'd go why don't I try them since I have them here?
And then
you'd never buy, and then boom.
2 weeks from now, I'm like the
you
scarecrow.
Remember my name and shit.
It's like what's that?
And you'd remember my name and stuff next
right,
week.
and then
it's weird.
I'd be like the scarecrow.
Right.
When he does the thing, right? He's given the brain.
Right.
And as soon as he's given the brain by the wizard, he goes, and I would say Copernicus and Magellan took a nap indubitably. Now, that's not exactly what he said.
No, but you had the spirit of it.
And the lesson of the Wizard of Oz was...
You were stupid all along.
No, that's
Count your
what
blessings,
you took.
dummy.
That's what you took from it because of your upbringing.
Right.
But the message all along was... You have to make a lot of money in show business at some point. Yeah. Don't go the Judy Garland route where she got ripped off by David Begelman and others. Who saw something that Barbara Walters hosted about? I did.
Did you?
Yeah, just like a thing on the
while
line.
Back there?
No, online. Online. Am I not working the mic?
Were you searching Judy Garland?
No. It was Susan and I.
Were you searching Barbara Walters? There's no way out.
No, Susan and I often curl up around her iPad late at night.
Yeah.
After we get busy. And when I say get busy, I mean start working on our 2018 taxes.
Aha.
Come on. That could be get busy. And when I say get, because it's a marriage joke.
Right. No, I think.
And I would say let's get busy. I mean, when are we going to seed the back lawn? But that could mean two things, right?
Right.
Two things.
Especially the back lawn.
Do you think this joke is still good? That I toured briefly as ZZ Bottom in the 80s?
No, not really.
Why not? You think it's an anti-gay joke?
No, I just think it's
weak?
Yeah, weak. That's the word.
So you don't have any objection to it?
No.
I'm putting it in then.
Okay. I have no moral objection other than quality control.
First of all, no one I don't think has done the premise before, which is I toured in the 80s. I was in a rock band named. My name used to be. I think that's, only my premise.
No one does funny band names. You're right.
That's right. Why would that put you to sleep? It's the question America wants to know right now.
That's true.
Why would that make you tired?
It's a psychological reaction to not wanting to be explicit.
Wow, we are really turning into some kind of an NPR, WNYC, postmodern podcast. We're the first postmodern podcast. You know what that means?
It means we are not modern. We're after modern.
It means we're trying to come up with some kind of a catchy title to put us over the top.
Gotcha.
So I can defeat my enemies.
Right. So then, see, those jokes, all those jokes you do with the Andy Christ, the Andy something, those things, those would all make good podcast titles in today's landscape.
How do you mean?
Because there's so many, if there's a pun to be had, the Chuck Toddcast.
Oh, I see.
It would be,
that means, are there a lot of pho?
Andy disestablishmentarianism, you could call it.
Andy, well, as I told you, I think a long time ago, there was a comic. Maybe I didn't tell you, or maybe I've told you too many times. Those are the options.
Right.
There was a comic named Ted.
Okay.
He used to work at the...
Is this a parable?
It's not. In a way, it's a parable.
Okay.
Part of what I'm going to say might be fiction, but part of what I'm saying I saw for myself. His name was Ted.
Okay.
Now,
Air quotes around Ted or Ted?
No, he didn't. He called himself Ted as the That was his moniker, I think.
So his name was really Ted, is what I'm saying. You're not protecting him by calling him Ted. Right. Yes, okay.
That's right. How would you know? Because that's part of the bit that's coming up has to do with his name. So how would you know?
Okay.
So he slipped or something. But the story I heard that I don't know is that he slipped at the Improv and he hurt himself. And so Bud gave him a lot of stage time in exchange for a lawsuit. I don't know about what the deal with that was. Right. But he was like the house MC for quite a while. and he had like long hair.
Okay.
And he goes, I am Ted. You must respect Ted, and you must not eject Ted. And and if you want to inspect Ted, don't worry because I am protect Ted.
Wow.
Now, it took me 2 times to see him. The first time I say, there's just no jokes, and he has long hair, right? The second time I realized, I don't think there's a word that you can't make into TED. That's what you realize the second time. That you can't. So the jig was up. Now, I don't know what I was talking about previous to that was similar to that. Andy Christ.
You digress, Ted.
Andy Christ. Andy Depressant.
Right. All of them.
All of them the same joke.
Podcast titles.
Podcast titles. Now, see? You were able to loop me back to a memory.
Yeah.
And the doctor says
sharp today. This is my second podcast today, so I'm in mode.
Were you at the other thing?
I was on Tom Segura and Christina P's Your Mom's House podcast today.
Oh, well, someone's, some must be nice.
Yeah.
For somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put out an album, you could go promote it too.
Everyone's talking about Tom Segura. Not everyone, but this very funny comedian. Her name is Heather. I think I'm spelling her last name Maruli.
Okay.
And she says that Tom Segura is her comedy crush.
Ah.
No one's ever said that about me. Comedy crush means that you like their comedy or something.
Right.
But I think it also means, like in his case, well, I don't know if it means this, but he seems to be an attractive man. I don't know. I can't tell anymore who's attractive.
He's a confident man.
He's a confident man.
Yeah.
That's what we don't have.
Exactly.
In fact, our vibe we put out is off-putting. That's how we do it.
I frankly, I don't really like being lumped in with your vibe.
Why?
I'm not saying that my vibe isn't equally off-putting, but I think it's wildly different in how it's off-putting than yours.
Oh, I don't know about this kind of comedy and this kind of put-down.
It wasn't a put-down.
It was
saying.
Look, play back the tape.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you have to.
It's true enough.
Hey, that's an annoying laugh.
That was, yeah.
Hi, Josh, Elvis Weinstein. And I know that I say it. The only time I use that is when we're on an interview with other people, and you say, "Don't just stop calling me J. Elvis Weinstein." So then, of course, I go, "I suppose you know that J. Elvis Weinstein, what his credits are."
I don't think I ever told you to stop calling me J. Elvis Weinstein. Honestly.
Yeah, but you don't want me to call me in conversation.
No, when you're addressing me, call me Josh, as you do.
Except when I call you Zach.
If you want to, that's bad.
Why is that so bad? When they're both similar names, they're both 4-letter names.
Let me tell you how. It's a problem.
Really, Steve? How long can we do this for, Eddie?
I don't know, Frank.
And yet, it delights me. All I'm doing is coming up with the name Sid, and yet it still makes me...
I'm sorry you couldn't make imaginary lunch on Friday, by the way, too.
Now, this is something that I really find off-putting about, that made me actually go to see a neurologist who's that experience. Because I was for sure thought you said, tomorrow I'm meeting Frank Conniff somewhere. We're meeting somewhere between his house and my house. Where would you say that about, except in L.A.? How would you know where he lived in New York? And don't tell me don't try and shake out of it.
Well, you're saying like St. Louis.
I mean, snake out of it.
It would be St. Louis would be, as you're talking, at the halfway point between he and I.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
So that you did make up something, or misheard something.
What happened was, I said, hey, I'm having lunch in New York with Frank on Friday, and you wrote it down for the wrong week.
I didn't hear the New York part.
You wrote it down for the wrong week.
I didn't hear New York. I heard I'm having lunch with Frank on Friday. That's all I heard, because I only hear 50-60% of what people say.
But no, this was like 3 weeks ago you wrote it down. It was the Friday we're in New York is what this was.
I find it hard to believe that I wrote anything down 3 weeks ago that would help me in the near future.
Well, it didn't help you very much at all, it turns out.
I still haven't gotten a flight.
Because you wrote me last Thursday and said, I can't make lunch tomorrow. I've got too much.
I think, what I was thinking?
Did we have a lunch tomorrow?
That made me think that what if I just started doing the ice cream, I've got ice cream character in inappropriate places. You haven't even invited me to lunch, and I'm writing you an ice cream excuse. Right. Like, look, I just can't make it. I'm slammed.
Right.
Well, we didn't have planned. Sorry, man. I am behind the 8 ball.
Preemptively telling you.
Yeah, I'm behind the 8 ball.
Task dropping.
I wish I could. Oh, you know what? Regardless,
and what did you have to do on Friday? That was so so big and lunch prohibitive?
Well, I had to go down.
Because it was Susan's birthday season.
It was. See, here's the thing. And I don't like to talk about personal things on the podcast. No, but I could not do the homework. Now, you're going to say, why didn't I do the homework? And I'll tell you why now. You'll feel bad. No, we had to go down to San Diego because everybody that we know is sick. Everyone we know. All our parents are sick. Well, Susan has one parent. She's sick. I have one parent. So we went down to rescue family because that's what we do.
Right.
We go to the East Coast or we go down to San Diego. You call us in. We wear a cape.
Right.
And we come down. And we actually did some good down there.
Good, excellent.
And we spent, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I can't dive, stupid. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Did some good down there.
Actually, we did some good down there.
Well, do you know who played?
So good.
Do you know the history of the San Diego basketball teams? I just looked it up. So.
The Clippers?
Right, but then before, yeah, and do you know why they called them the Clippers?
Because of sailing ships and they're on the sea.
That's exactly why. That should have been not the toughest question. The $1 million question is, what did they change their name from? And there's no reason why you know.
They were the Buffalo.
Yes.
Somethings.
Hey,
Buffalo Braves. Was it the Braves?
Just like that, I was able to go. Hey. Yes, they were the Buffalo Braves, and they didn't think that'd be a good name for. But then there was another San Diego, so they changed it to the Clippers. But then there was another team that had gone from San Diego to Houston, and I just got very bored after that. But anyway, everything is good down there. We did a good work, and then we had wonderful sushi, But I didn't get a chance to watch the movie. Now,
what movie?
I thought I was going to watch.
Oh, that's right.
Dana Andrews.
You were going to, Best Days of Our Lives. Right. But that was a loose one.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a loose one. I didn't watch the thing I said I was going to watch either.
Well, you didn't have.
I did watch all of Hip Hop Evolution on Netflix.
How was that? Was it cool?
It's good.
Did you? Are you? I'm not familiar with hip hop. Are you familiar with it? Some of it I am.
I was familiar with most of the names, most of them, but not where they all fit in the sequence in which they came.
And it wasn't Ken Burnsy?
It wasn't Ken Burnsy.
That's what I like. Can I watch at least one? Is there one segment of history that I can watch that doesn't have to be covered by Ken Burns? Can we do that?
Yes.
People?
I think hip hop is a safe one. Although he did jazz.
Ken Burns, the Holocaust. I got to tell you something. Not as bad. Zooming in and out.
I look for the sweet relief of Showa.
Every once in a while, not once in a while, a couple times a week though, I think about that I was whining because I had to take violin lessons, which seemed to me like the worst thing in the world because I also took it home with me. But I think I had one day a week at some stupid religious training.
Yeah.
And now that I remember, I think the year of my bar mitzvah, I went one extra day on a Tuesday or some crap.
Okay.
Which I enjoyed because I was the center of attention.
Sure.
I don't know what I was talking about.
It's something about me. I think it was like, you can't believe I did that much Jewish school.
Oh yeah. I think about how often you attend the Jewish school, and it makes me sad in a way because it's like, and also it makes me want to accuse your parents in retrospect. Oh, maybe I can accuse you, j'accuse, or whatever that expression goes, because you're the one who built yourself up as having the perfect childhood where you said, I'm an animal, basically. No, I wouldn't have thought I would have thought your parents would have been sensitive enough because they were sensitive to like, what are we doing to these kids?
Yeah. No, there were blind spots all over the place. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Could you complain? But
when I talk about my perfect childhood, I don't talk about it.
No, you don't.
Way, but, but it's mostly just that,
you were loved.
I was loved, and it was. I felt. When I look at my childhood, I felt totally secure. Yeah. To the extent that my parents could make me feel that way. Right. There was plenty of things I was insecure about, but my basic, whoever hierarchy of needs felt like it was in order.
Did you feel like you couldn't say, I don't want to do this?
No, I think I said that regularly.
You did?
Yeah. No, it wasn't like I did anything
without saying something.
There was no just blind obedience.
What's up with this?
Really. There was just, but there's some things your parents make you do.
When I hear about childhood, like
they really believed that, that's how you make a Jew. It's
true.
As you go through these things, they did it, and their friends made their kids do it, and to some extent, part of that master plan is to give you a Jewish social life too.
Right, and that's true, and that makes sense.
Because it's kids from a bunch of different suburbs coming to this one Hebrew school after school.
Sadly, all Jews, though.
All Jews, yes.
So maybe that was good then. Did that? So
it
that
was good,
yeah.
Obviously it wasn't all torture, but it was a lot of.
I blame the schools.
Like I just, I don't regret it because it's over.
True.
And I'm glad that
How long was
I
it?
can read Hebrew.
Yeah, but you went after a regular school day. That's the thing.
Yeah, it was a
that's the
fucking
thing
drag.
I hate.
Yeah, it was a bus would pick you up at your school and take you to the other school.
See, I would think you would have been severely depressed from age whenever that started to age whenever you stopped that.
Yeah, I stopped at there was like a high school version.
Yeah.
And for some reason I got pushed to go to that and I really didn't want to. And then I went the first day and got kicked out of both classes.
Yeah.
For being a smart ass. And then I came home and went, I got kicked out of both classes. I don't really want to do this anymore. And she was like, all right.
And what, did you get in trouble for that?
No. I mean, I got sent to the principal, I think. But I was funny, It was because I was being really funny. That's why I got kicked out.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
And by that time, being funny was important to me, so.
Yeah, and also some teachers got it.
Some did, but not, at Tomatar, not that many.
You think it was the quality of your adolescent material?
It was a mix of really old Jewish people who had been teaching there for like 2 generations.
Right.
And then Israelis. Who all had this very militaristic attitude, and this superiority of God wants all the Jews to be in Israel,
Yeah, there's stereotypes to everything, but the Israeli Jew is a different style Jew.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say about it. You people make your own decision.
They're arrogant, but they know hand-to-hand combat.
That's right. That's right. That you don't want to mess with them.
I have Israeli relatives who are very lovely people.
Don't get you wrong.
And don't have the Jewish Hebrew school teacher syndrome. Someone wrote to me, Stephen Lefevre wrote to me about sort of lamenting that I had rejected Judaism, and I think I might have stated that too strongly. That we were talking about Yom Kippur.
That does not sound like a Jewish name. That's all I can think of. Lefevre.
No, I don't know. He was talking about how he grew up in a sort of
French
nondescript Christian thing, and But so I overstated probably how I don't reject it as an identity, and I don't reject the sort of humanistic approach that Judaism takes, and there are some rituals that I think are quite lovely, but the actual connecting to God through structured Hebrew prayer doesn't make me feel like I'm connecting to God.
I think that's a problem with the religion, not like writ large organized religion. I don't know if that means.
Sure, that worked.
But organized religion in general.
Double back. Sometimes you can make it through.
It's like when I hear gospel singing and I hear stuff like, it's like, okay, that's what I would have liked temple to be.
Right.
Where you're swaying around and you're grooving to the music, whatever the thing is. I just think there's got to be something that's gotten lost in the sauce of the Judaism, or maybe it's just, it's not for us, having been through it.
There's only so much compelling staying power something's going to have over 6,000 years.
I think it needs to be revitalized.
I don't know if it does.
No, it doesn't. You're right. It needs to be moved on from, or not even moved on from.
No, I'm not saying any of that, honestly.
Because you're trying to backtrack from last week.
I'm not trying. No, I'm not. I'm trying to fucking make you stop. I'm just trying to make you let me finish the sentence.
Sorry, Jim Lefevre. I'm sorry.
But, I think what people connect to is that 6,000 years.
I thought you were going to do the Mel Brooks character. The 6,000-year-old man. It was very old. How old was it? It was about 6,000 years ago. Right.
I just don't.
Right. I'm
not asking them to change it for me. I feel like I got enough out of it, but it's not a part of my daily life, except for it's who I am,
To me, organized religion, it's very strange. I've had a very strange evolution. Not an evolution, but like when I would turn around and I never would have expected I'd be defending organized religion online and stuff like that.
Right.
But in a lot of ways, I do feel like organized religion I thought we all agree. The reason why I'm very like whatever you want to do is like when I was a kid, I went through that. Well, most of this is nonsense. I thought we all agreed on that. And then I went on my own spiritual path or whatever.
Right.
But like, I've been very like defensive or defending of religions, but like I was looking at this guy his name Carson Wentz?
He's the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles?
Right. And I started to get a thing of like, his Twitter page says, number one, I don't know how you express it when you're like really seriously Christian.
Jesus is number one fan.
Something like that.
With a big foam finger.
And then he's standing in this like biblical light. It's just, it really kind of bothers me. It's like, fuck you. I'm Jewish. I'm not, I don't know. You know, it's like when you're that much into Jesus is it.
Right.
That was the first time in a long time it kind of bothered me.
Yeah, but I mean, it only rises to off-putting.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's wrong. It's just like,
yeah, it's off-putting.
It's just kind of like, yuck. You know?
It's in your face.
Yeah, sure. But you can turn away, is what I'm saying.
No, I don't want to. I felt bad for. Well,
it's my distaste for it, or my personal lack of connection with religion doesn't reflect my opinion about religion necessarily.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? And I think that's true for you too.
Right.
I mean, I think it's for people who can find a church that hits their spiritual groove just right, and they can go there once a week, and feel better for 2 hours. That's a fucking gift, you know. And I don't poo-poo that.
I hope you don't poo-poo anything.
I try not to poo-poo it.
Well, I like to joke about everything because
but I don't belittle it as much as I can, unless it becomes this offensive display of you're going to hell. You know?
Right, or defend. That's true. Or defensive. Well, you can tell obviously the ones who are Trump, MAGA, phony Christians like Pompeo. Those are, I don't even buy anything they're saying. They're using religion to further their own power.
To the extent that religion is self-contained, I really don't like proselytizing. I find proselytizing to be an offensive thing.
Well, that's also a Jewish tradition not to proselytize.
It is, yeah. In fact, Judaism is discouraging, in fact.
How about when Ronald Reagan Jr. comes on and he says, hi, it's gone too far with the religion.
Yeah.
And I'm a member of get this religion out of my face.
Right. Don't worry, I'm not going to hell because I don't believe in it.
Yes.
Good night, folks. Boom. Yes.
So come on, join up. What is he saying? I understand. He's saying like
atheist proselytizing is just as stupid and ugly, but it's not more stupid and ugly.
Right. Here's the thing: when your Twitter thing says atheist or Jesus is number one fan or whatever it says, I just think it's like you're defining yourself. Like, who gives? I really want to say at some point, who gives a fuck whether you're an atheist or not an atheist, or you're a Christian or you're a Jew? You know. But that's
the off-putting thing is. I would love to have a conversation with somebody and not know their religion by the end of it.
Right.
You know, that's my preference.
I pray for you, brother. Like that. I don't want that kind of thing.
Using your religion like credits is weird.
You may have seen...
But then again, I made my initials spelled Jew. So what can I...
Well, that's because you have a good... Well, tonight, of course, as a Jew, which I look through everything through the lens of being a Jew... And I'm listening to the debate.
Except for this movie where I'm not a Jew. Well, I feel very good about that.
I'm a Jew, though, I think. Right?
Oh, you're a Jew. You can't. You're the reason I can't be a Jew. You took all the Jew oxygen.
You did a good job of Christianizing yourself. Not even Christianizing yourself. You're kind of paganistic.
Took a little mustard off.
But when they were doing the debates tonight, I was listening and they're going, it was such a stupid question or something. Anderson Cooper said, Ellen DeGeneres said this. It was the worst question I've heard so far. Ellen DeGeneres said this about George W. Would you say something about somebody? And then
wasn't the question? I think it was one of the few questions I actually saw where it was like, "Who's your friend?" that we would be surprised by.
Right. So I don't know why I put that up. Oh yeah. So someone was going. I think it was what's his name, Bodie.
Bodie.
It does seem like the guy from Texas should be named Bodie.
Yeah.
What is his name? Beto.
Beto O'Rourke. He
should be Bodie O'Rourke.
He does have that surfer Bodie thing.
So he said, and I was with these people, and I went to here, and it didn't matter whether they're Republican or Democrat, and I just always fill in as long as they're Jewish. I did that on my bar mitzvah speech, and it was edited out by my goddamn rabbi.
Really?
And that was my first attempt at a joke in a public outing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're red, black, white, but just as long as you're Jewish.
Solid 13-year-old
Solid
joke. Yes. I would say solid for even a 14-year-old.
Yeah. I kept it till I was 17.
I would say it beats ZZ Bottom.
Well, that's not a low bar. Is that a low bar? Get it? Bottom?
Low Bar was the name of my last cover band, by the way.
I like that.
It was.
No, but I mean, I really like that. So what does that mean? It's going to make $1 million? I have that kind of like a Brian Epstein thing. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, it's great. Okay, so.
Okay.
No, that's the name you should have stuck with. And why didn't you stick with it? The band broke up.
Yeah. Name's still there. Band's not.
Name's still there. You know why I'm so excited? Do you know why I seem to be in a good mood?
Is it New York, New York?
It's not because of that. But let's talk about, in podcast time, it's October something, 21st probably. Because I saw that on Susan's birthday, which was October 14th,
right,
our podcast came out.
Correct.
And it made a big hubbub, made a lot of noise.
A lot of big splash.
And in real life, it is literally and figuratively 2.5 hours away.
From your birthday.
From my birthday.
Yes.
You know what that means? I don't know what it means, but I'm already excited I'm already excited like I was when I was young.
What does your birthday mean to you? Why is it? It does seem like you guys are big on the birthday celebrations.
I think it was because I was so poorly parented.
Yeah.
It was the only day. No, that can't be it, because I think my birthday was okay in my family. See, my sister doesn't like her birthday because she doesn't feel it was celebrated. And my father told me he didn't like his birthday because his mother told him he didn't want to have a birthday party. Because you know how when you're 7 or 8,
right,
the first thing you do is you head in your bedroom. Whoa, what's going on? What's on the agenda? Big party today. What? Why
wasn't I informed?
I threw my blankie down and I said, wait 1 second. So
there's a lot of birthday grudges in your family.
Yeah, my sister doesn't like her birthday, but I've always loved my birthday. And it's there's 2 holidays I still love.
It's Narcissist Christmas.
It's Narcissist Christmas. That's exactly it. I think we've covered it. It's as simple as looking up, hoping I will be a celebrity birthday. That's what I hope for 11 months.
Well, okay.
But you know how I had to get a Lexus Nexus.
There's got to be a list. There's got to be a list you make somewhere.
Yeah, but I had to, come on, Josh. I had to sign up for Lexus Nexus.
Right,
Choo-choo.
I'm sorry, that deserved a nod.
Well, because you didn't guffaw. So, it's my birthday, so I'm pumped up. It's pumping me up. It's making me feel like I'm good on the podcast.
This is 63 or 4?
63.
Okay.
Because next year, I'll be doing all jokes about when I'm
Beatles
64.
Songs. Yeah, good.
I know what this guy is thinking. Because when you get older in comedy, or even when you're younger...
This guy wants to rent a cottage in the Isle of Wight with me. Hey, Vera, where's Chuck and Dave? Huh?
You'll be older, too. This guy knows what I'm talking about. Whatever age you are as a comedian, even when you're younger, you're desperate for anything to be topical.
Sure.
So when I'm 64, I'll have 30 or 40 jokes about that.
A year of topicality.
Just like when I was 33, had done stand-up for 5 years, and used to use the line, I'm 33, that's the year Jesus got his big break.
And when you're next year, and then the year after 64, you'll have, I'm on Medicare.
Oh, that's the saddest thing you've ever said. Here's another very, very sad thing happened to me. And I don't know if it's going to be true. I haven't renewed my driver's license yet because I'm a bad person.
You need a true ID.
I know. I got to get a real ID. At one point said, do you want a free senior ID?
Hell yes.
I said yes, but then I got scared. And then what does that mean?
It means you can go, boom, give me that discount, bitch.
I think I can go into any movie theater now.
Yes.
And not understand the movie.
Right. You can get some sort of hearing device.
Excuse me. I didn't see the first 3 Avengers. Is there a way? Do you have a brochure I could catch up on? Are the hot tamales spicy? You don't like to hear...
you the Mike and Ike.
I don't know, but you're veering very close to Amos and Andy territory.
That's my Cajun guy.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Why do I delight in hanging you up in some way like Arthur Godfrey?
I don't know.
Cut it out.
Because you're a dick.
Just cut it out.
It's just dictum, I think, is really all it is.
A dick to me. Isn't that a joke you could put? A dick to me.
A dick Ted.
Well, you can, but you can't infect Ted because I am protected. Like he's wearing a rubber.
Right.
Every week for like a year and a half because he got hit in the head with a thing. Ow.
And every jokes were inflected like that.
Exactly right. You know it, Buster Brown. I don't know.
I don't stand corrected.
Andy.
I could write for Ted.
No, I don't think Ted could write for Ted.
Clearly.
Hence, he did these jokes.
Hence, he had to do a personal injury to get stage time.
Well, that's what I love about comedy. Well, it could be any job. But a job where, why is that guy doing comedy? I mean, he all of a sudden came out of nowhere, and he's hosts every show at the Improv. Oh, he got injured, and Bud
It's
gave
a
him
slip
stage
and fall
time.
MC.
What is that? What an impresario does?
Apparently.
Anyway, tomorrow's my birthday, so that's all I care about. Not all I care about. For right now, it's soothing all of my.
Are there plans?
No, because here's the situation. I don't know if you know about this, but it's a premiere. I haven't heard back from my brother yet. He goes, premiere, can I come? And I gave him the details. I said, let's not get...
Yeah, you can buy tickets and come.
No, but let's not get, I don't want him to think it's a big red carpet thing. I wanted to prepare him.
Right.
I said, it's a thing at the AMC Schmeckeltown. Never heard back from him.
Really?
No, he'll come. Tomorrow night. After my birthday's over, by the clock, I fly to New York City.
Oh, okay. You're going before us.
On Thursday. And I will be with my mother.
You're doing a red eye?
Yeah. Oh, I never found out. We're on different flights. I did find out because you're on a very early flight coming home.
Yeah.
And I'm on like 11 o'clock or something.
Well, la-di-da.
Well, somebody certainly... Oh, that was my first attempt
we want to get home to... actually, it was like, for first class, it was like $3,000 less to leave earlier or something.
Wait a second. What are you telling me? You bought first class tickets?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I think you've told me this before because you're a big fella.
I have a fucked up back. And And it,
isn't that $15,000?
$15,000 on the nose. No, it's much less than that.
4,000. I said 3,000.
I'm not going to talk about it.
Don't just just mouth the words. 3,200. All right, look, this is not interesting to the listener. But, so you went on a first class, but you got it.
Business class.
Business class. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But try to use miles. I tried to use miles.
Yeah.
And I think what they're saying with miles is they're great until you try to use them.
It's kind of, yeah.
Oh, you want to use them? It's 95,000 miles to fly anytime to Phoenix.
Right.
Round trip. Oh, you want to
You can fly from Burbank to LAX with that.
Or we'll give you $50 off your credit card. Right. For 700,000 miles, that's what we're doing.
That's what we got.
I have things to talk about. I don't know if you do, but I do have more things to talk about.
I don't know. I feel all ashamed about buying first class tickets now. Thanks a lot.
I don't know why I made you feel that way.
Queered my whole deal. Well,
here's the thing. It wasn't, if I had done it, it would have been blowhard. It would have sounded blowhardy because what I would have said is, it's hard to say that you're flying first class without people thinking that you're a Rockefeller.
Okay. I know. That's why I'm all self-conscious.
But you shouldn't be. Because you weren't flying first class, you're flying business class, which is understandable. It's also a tax deduction. You're coming out ahead. First of all, I don't want to make you feel bad because that was my strategy the first 100 shows.
Yeah. Now you're building me back up for the third 100
No, I just feel like I got as much as I could out of it.
Okay.
I got a shingles vaccine today.
Did you?
It's phase 1.
They say old people should do that. Well, let's just say you can't get one unless you're like 55 or older.
I hope that you die younger than you should.
Well, I think I'm well on track. Now we can blame you. I appreciate that.
Why do I have to hope you die to feel better?
How about this as my dying words? You got your wish.
More. I need more. Was Charles Foster Kane into revenge, or was it that his sled was his? He had in the end, he wanted something nice. His sled. Don't even talk to me. When you see me going into that, just go like this. Make a chopping sound. So you have to get 2 shingles vaccine for older people.
Right.
I have to get one today. I get one in 2 months from now. Okay. 2 to 6 months.
Nice.
And I was afraid of the side effects. And she said mostly the side effect is your arm is sore.
Now, what made you go with shingles instead of siding?
My father died from aluminum siding. He grew aluminum siding. It was early before plaque psoriasis came out. Now it's funny.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis.
That makes you laugh. I just want to hang you up with every line. That's what you think is. That's your brand of. I have psoriasis, and I don't talk about it, but I would. So I got a shingles vaccine, and my arm is sore. But I'm up to date.
Don't go like this.
That's right. Why did didn't I try and bring that joke back?
I don't know.
I said I told my psychologist every time I go on stage, I don't feel good about my act.
Don't go on stage.
Don't go on stage. So I just had that done today.
That's good. That's responsible. I think shingles are awful. So
I can tell you about a current feud.
I saw
I have a current feud.
Dave Anthony feud. Is that it?
Dave Anthony feud.
Okay.
Do you think it's worth?
If you want to vent on it, that's fine.
Or you think it's not worth it?
It seemed like 2 very childish men going at it to me from afar.
All right, now here's the thing. I will have to strongly disagree with you, but not so strongly that I'm going to negate your position, because it's just tiring for me to constantly make myself look like the good guy. But whereas, say, my fight with another friend of yours, I could see looking back and going, oh, well, I was just an idiot.
Which one?
Rick Siegel. When I got in some stupid fight with him over on Facebook.
Right.
It was like, where I said it was overrated, and he said, you can't say it's over. Well, I said Curb Your Enthusiasm is overrated. He goes, you can't say it's overrated because it's much better than most other things. And we got in a fight over that. That's stupid.
That is stupid.
But what he did was just, we've had fights in the past going back years and years and years.
I know. That's why it's silly to do it again.
We've had a truce.
Yeah.
So to me, if you come out of it's like you can't slice anything that he said except as an attempt to hurt me. There's nothing funny about it. He's basically lying about me and saying that I don't care if civilians do. I mean, there's nothing but his attempt to strike out at me. And so I felt actually good about telling.
But did he just come at it on a tweet that you tweeted?
Yeah, I said that.
Freestanding from him?
Freestanding from him.
Yeah, no, then what he tweeted was fucked up.
Yeah, and I don't interact with him because I muted him, and he knows I muted him because I didn't want to interact with him after all of our stuff.
Right.
So to me, it just very clearly said that this guy, this is what he does, and I felt like it didn't matter, but I felt like, okay.
I felt like you got baited by bullshit flamethrowing from someone who you knew was a bullshit flamethrower.
Well, I think he is a bullshit flamethrower because I think he's like one of these Bernie guys who everything, it's like everything is Bernie, and
right.
And if you don't vote for Bernie, then you're a bad person.
Right.
So, but anyway, I think I've summed it up, and I think no, it's not.
And then he blocked you.
That I was actually surprised about because I don't block people anymore. I mostly don't block anymore. I mostly mute, which I find very enjoyable.
Right, but not a statement of any kind.
Not a statement, except to myself.
Right.
Like I've muted all of Dave Anthony's followers who liked what he was talking about. I muted every single one of them.
Good.
And I felt good about it. But I guess you're right. There's nothing. That's not like a Jay's beef sticking in my craw.
Yeah.
But he's done this a lot to a lot of people. He's been this way.
Twitter's bad for a lot of people.
What's that?
Twitter's super bad for a lot of people.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way. Yeah. True. There's a lot of people in their PJs.
Yeah. Well, look at our fucking whatever you call the head of state.
Currently. Mr. President. Well, it was a fun week for him, though. I mean, it looks like it's
hard to even talk about since the cascade will be so much farther down next week. But
yeah, it's really hard. Is there anything that, I mean, it seems like It's kind of crazy. It is. I mean, we've been talking about it for so long, or not talking about it really, mostly.
Right.
But it's so exponentially more insane than anything that's ever happened in my lifetime, for sure. Not even close. Nixon, not even close.
Yeah, not even close. Totally not.
Could you imagine, like, you're a Kurdish kid who's been murdered, or you're related to a Kurdish, and the guy goes, he saw a thing where they didn't come to our help in World War II. I mean,
right.
He's going to cause terrorism for years. A healthy bout of terrorism.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know. I'm of two minds of that just because it's like, I feel like the world knows
that he's crazy.
It's Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You know, obviously he got elected, so that doesn't speak super well of our country. But you can see the sort of torrent of dissent against him just as loud in the world.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, it's like anybody who's influential from America who isn't a Republican is lashing out against him publicly.
That's true.
So I feel like despite all the norms that he's shattered, I don't feel like it's going to be impossible to go back.
Oh, we will survive him.
We will survive him. I think people will be relieved by someone who goes back to observing those norms and more honorable ways of being the president, like erring on the side of being inspirational or honorable in any way.
Yeah.
And I also just think there isn't a next Donald Trump. He is such an
anomaly. Like
there's
that way.
Nobody in American history who's ever been able to get this far, this shamelessly.
Yeah, maybe Andrew Johnson, but I don't know really.
But I mean, they're just the
modern era of it.
Yeah, the particular just.
It was never been this dangerous.
Lining up this perfect storm of character flaws.
Yeah.
You know, and yet that somehow exudes an appeal to the leadership deprived, and to the people who are just so hungry for something that feels like leadership to them, or to authoritarians.
Right.
You know,
it's such a. I think the people who still like him now don't care about anything but their hate or their
right.
They're grudging.
Now it's pride.
Yeah.
Too. Now they've been called idiots and racists for 3 or 4 years, and they're not going to come out of their corner.
I just can't imagine. It's like
I mean, he has to have lost some military and veterans people with this fucking bailing on the Kurds.
Yeah, I hope so.
That goes against everything these guys stand for.
Let them fight him on. He doesn't. I
guess my point is that there's no one else who can emulate all these things that he brings to the table.
That's true.
No one else can get away with this stuff. No one else can even come close to getting away because no one has that psychopathic shamelessness.
That's true.
That he has.
Which I guess even I knew he was. To me, since the first day this started, it's been a nightmare, like an unending nightmare.
Right.
That I was like, I can't imagine who would like him.
And that's why it's so fun to watch this whistleblower thing, just because his number one tactic is attack your attacker.
Right.
And he's so lost without having someone to attack.
It doesn't even matter now. I mean,
No,
it literally
totally
doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter because he's so hung up on that.
On the whistleblower.
Yeah.
He'd like to, because he thought it was effective to say, the 17 Democrats,
right.
I do think ultimately that Mueller, I respect what he did, but I don't think he did a good job. I think he screwed it up in a little way. And not screwed it up, but I just don't think you do a report like, look, let's start off by saying I'm not allowed to say,
Yeah, no, he turned it into a colossal waste of time, it turns out, in many ways.
And the only way that we were saved from it is that he kept going. He just can't stop Trump. It's so it's delicious in a way. I mean, except it's scary.
No, it is, as fiction, it's incredible. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you just go, this is the greatest comedy character ever created. This is better than the British Office. But it's real. And that's what makes it all so surreal, because you're just so dumbfounded that people can embrace him in any way.
Because every aspect of his personality is so repulsive. The part of him that does the imitations of these imaginary people, And the man said to me, "No, sir. This is where we get our gasoline from." It's like all these people, "Sir, no, sir, yes, sir." These imaginary people who are just kowtowing to him constantly.
Yeah.
And then he's kind of putting them down, too. It's like, and they go, "Sir, sir, sir." Oh, God, I enjoy hating
There's
him.
something so dead on about your characterization of his sir, I have to say.
Sir. Yeah, because he does this, the impression. Because he also does the impression of like reporters asking him questions, and they're like, "They asked me." I can't even remember how he does that voice. You know what? I got something good. I should have just stuck with it.
Yeah, I know.
They look like dress pants, but they're not. They're yoga pants.
So you're staying at your mom's?
Yeah, for 4 days.
Okay.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the thing is on Saturday. No, I go home Sunday because
because you have a thing Sunday night.
Yeah. Exactly right. That couldn't be more moronic. You know, I don't know what's worse, me plugged in or me spaced out.
If you're in San Jose, the movie The Fiddling Horse will be in San Jose this coming weekend at the Golden Gate Film Festival.
And it's the first movie.
It's the opening night gala on the 26th.
This could go the other...
October 26th at the AMC Saratoga in San Jose.
I love the poster.
Yeah, the poster.
Is that all C.J. Wallace?
I believe it is, yeah.
The kid. I'm telling you, this kid has got so much in the ball.
He's got talent out the tuchus.
And I like the slogan. Is that your slogan?
No, it's his.
Oh. Did you see I took a picture of Dark Horse Coffee?
I did.
Isn't it really? No. Let's talk more about the my sub interesting tweets. I was in San Diego and I tweeted from Fiesta del Mundo. I was at that. Well, no, that's not. Bizarre del Mundo. That's where I was.
So is your mom going to come in for the movie?
That's not funny.
Can she?
No. I don't know. And you weren't making a joke. But
I wasn't making a joke.
I know, but she can't.
Okay.
But what's kind of always inappropriate is me pretending you were making something of it and then taking the joke further. You know she's not ambulatory. But I can't wait to see her, though, and I know she's doing better.
That's good.
I just can't believe it. Now, if everybody will
You won't have to do the old mama routine.
Mama. Mama. Back and forth at the foot of the bed. Mama. Mama. It annoys her to this day.
It should.
One time my father was pretty funny.
You couldn't read me a book?
When my father was very, very, he had, after an operation, the hospital screwed up and gave him too much heparin, and he was home, kind of out of it for like a month at home. Yeah. And we gave him this bell, and he said, "Ring the bell." We said to him, "Here's a bell, and ring it whenever you need us." And even as mad as it was, he was able to push it off the table into the garbage can. He was like, definitely, it was Larry doing one of his bits.
Yeah.
You know what's still funny to me is pretending you understand other people's language.
What do you mean?
Like looking at a Chinese newspaper and pretending to comprehend it.
Yeah.
It still brings me giggles.
Just a subtle gag that you...
I don't think it is a subtle gag. I think it's stupid. It's
how often does this come up for you?
Not that often. Not that often.
In fact, what is it apropos of?
It doesn't come up at all. Obviously, desperate for a topic. Desperate for a topic. Is there anything else? Any news in Josh's world of sous vide cooking?
I did sous vide steaks the other night.
That scares me.
Oh man, it was so bad.
And then you stuck it in the thing.
Huh?
You stuck it in the thing, right?
No, I didn't.
Oh, then I'm misreporting what you're doing.
I did sous vide steaks, not smoked.
I thought you do both.
No.
So when you did the sous vide chicken, how do you finish it?
Just in a pan.
Oh. I read up about it. That's how interesting I was.
So the sous vide steak, I did a New York for me and a filet for Allison. And I set it for like just at the border of medium rare and medium.
Really?
And you cook it, and then you take it out and you sear it, and you cut it open, and it is one color from seared edge to seared edge.
And you love it.
It's like an Omaha steak ad. You know how
yes.
there aren't gray. It doesn't go from gray to red from the outside. It's one solid color.
And how long did you cook it for to get it to that?
Over an hour.
I thought people were cooking it for hours. The chicken. Did you cook the chicken longer?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just that you can't because it won't go over.
Right, but yes.
Someone I was talking to online was talking about they did a 24-hour sous vide brisket.
And was it amazing?
He said it was amazing, yeah.
Well, now why would you not do it that way now?
Well, with a brisket, I could see how, if you take the sort of approach of you do this low and slow to break down the muscle fiber really slowly.
You don't want it to be that pink inside. No, I see.
It's not a question of pinkness. It's a question of making it tender.
Did you say stupid in the middle of that? Did you call me stupid?
No, you just hear that. You hear it. Your dad called you stupid in the middle of that.
He did, Josh. He just called me stupid for believing in God.
But it was a great steak. And just sort of visually just stunning.
That's what my wife said to me on our wedding night. She said visually, no, she said visually, I'm really stunning.
Yeah.
Because I had watched, I don't know if you remember that I used to be like a world-class nudnik. When was the last time have you ever heard nudnik?
Sure.
Okay, that's good.
Sure.
I don't want to be the guy who brings
it. Not just in a Don Martin cartoon.
Nudnik. Yeah, was he Jewish? Must have been.
He was Jewish. I don't know.
No,
I don't think
maybe he wasn't. Who knows? First of all, you can't go by people's last names.
That's true, especially Jews that entered show business in the mid 20th century.
Were there two Don? Who's the guy who played the? Get smart. Don Adams.
That's Don Adams. Don Martin was Splorch.
Splorch. Splagingle.
So I finished remixing the movie last week, which is great.
You did.
Well, me with my audio guy, yeah.
Oh! I thought you were talking about our movie our movie is in the can that we're seeing this week.
I'm talking about Michael Debar.
And so you're done.
Done with the audio. Gonna relay credits when I get home from New York. So close.
And then you get the big payout, right?
Oh yeah, ka-ching.
Will you get any more money from it at all?
Yeah, I'll get some.
But that's going to pay for what you've laid out.
No, I don't think I'll break even. But
you have a good tax accountant of some kind.
I'll write a fair amount.
That's good though. It's so great to get these things done.
I finally can make it a liability instead of an asset.
Yes. You can make a definitive depreciated.
Yes.
Do you depreciate your movie?
Yes.
It sounds like a Norm Crosby bit.
That's the name of our band, The Depreciators.
Why am I just this close to brilliance? About 4 feet from brilliance. 6 feet from the stage. Boy, that's a good title, 20 feet from the stage. Has anyone thought of it? I did listen to a great podcast that I wanted to tell you about.
Okay.
Or I don't have to. Fuck it.
No, tell me.
Okay. It's called, do you know who the Susan Powell case? It's a very famous case. Josh Mankiewicz, I think it was Josh. Maybe it wasn't Josh. Anyway, they did a Dateline recently about it.
Yeah.
I forgot if it was Josh or Keith. But it's about a woman.
You're only on the first name basis with Josh.
I know it's ridiculous. Just take any blow. Is there a blowhardy filter?
You have rights with Josh.
It's just bad. Oh, my whole personality is bad. So this woman, Susan Powell, disappeared. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you what happened with it. It's a very famous case.
I know the name of the case. I don't know the case.
Very famous case. But one aspect of the case is that her father-in-law had a crush on this woman who's missing. It's really creepy. Her father-in-law.
Okay.
The father. And he wrote and one of the ways that they found out was he wrote all these songs. And then you listen to these songs and they're literally like, I love, and here's how its voice sounds.
Karen. Susan.
It's not that good. He says, Here's how his voice sounds.
Okay.
I know that I love you. I love you, Susan. And you don't love me. But you're very wrong to have. And I know when you'll come back, you won't want to be with your husband. Oh.
So, songs to bury people by.
And I love. And then but this creepy part is that she hated him. The woman who's disappeared.
Yeah.
Susan
Powell.
Yes.
Okay.
And she actually, I not make fun of, but I want to see a Dateline where the person's not an attractive, like an interesting person. She seemed like a wonderful human being. Right. Not that anyone deserves to be murdered.
Right. But this was especially hurting.
But she was avoiding him for years, how creepy he was, and he actually made her sing on one of the songs that was called Lydia, but he changed it to Susan. And so she had to sing in the back, and she actually had a decent voice.
So she's going, Susan, and she's going, Lydia! Susan,
something like that.
Lydia!
But when he sings, you should get arrested just for singing like this.
Like Adam Sandler?
No. Not good. Adam Sandler's more like, I don't. He's lower, right?
He has a couple of registers going. It sounded like an Adam Sandler thing you were doing.
But he's trying to sound like he's beautiful, like he's a high singer.
Okay, like a castrati.
My love for you is forbidden.
Like Brian, like Beach Boy, Brian Wilson?
No. It's not a guy, his age, that guy.
If you should ever
No, don't make it nice. The guy hates rock music. It's like a type of music that would be like, it's not like any kind of music.
Okay.
That's how bad it is.
It's terrible. Okay.
But he's able to make a melody like, I think I love you so much and you know.
I wonder if they had to pay publishing on that.
Well, it made me want to look for it online.
Yeah.
But they also read his diary. They found his diary, and the guy, he's like a sick. I know she's going to be in love with me. He's writing this in his diary. She'll leave her husband and she'll live with me.
Her husband, his son?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you said my situation was... Anyway, it's absolutely fascinating.
So was he the criminal, or was he just a creepy side note?
Well, okay, spoiler alert. You want me to spoil alert?
Yes, it's a criminal case.
Spoiler alert. If you really don't want to hear it, don't pay attention to the next 15 seconds. What happened was, and it's a very sad ending, the husband who actually did kill the wife took her out on some camping trip.
I knew it was going to be a sad ending when you referred to it as the case.
The case. Yeah. He blew up himself and his 2 kids.
Oh, shit.
To avoid, and then his father eventually died, but his father, who may have even helped the son. I haven't listened to all the episodes. So the father was
the last one alive.
The father was the last one alive.
Wow.
And they found all these things in retrospect. It's absolutely fascinating. A podcast. I can't stop it.
And what's it called?
Cold.
Gotcha.
I think it's Wondery. Boo boo boo.
And it's a limited series?
20 of them.
Wow.
But it's an example of how Dateline can stimulate other parts of it. What am I promoting now?
I don't know.
And don't forget to watch Dateline. So I guess that's all I have. Let me think if there's anything else I have to cover. Did I say LexisNexis?
Yes.
I don't think I have anything else. I could keep talking, though. I definitely could go.
Well, if you're just going to...
Well, what do you, I mean, I'm not going to say any more. What do you have to say? Because I went to a workshop.
Yeah, that's good.
No, I went to a podcast workshop.
Yeah.
How to be a good host. And they said what you shouldn't do, do's and don'ts. And what you shouldn't do is go, well, how was your week? What would you like to talk about? Josh, anything updated in your life? That's a big no-no.
It's true.
So I said to them, what if your partner never brings up stuff? What do you do then?
What if your partner still maintains some vestige of privacy about his life?
What if your partner refuses to bleed from every orifice all of the pus of his life, his personal life?
They say take a break.
You know what? I'll take you up on that. What are we doing in the break?
Here's the Thoughts by a Rap by Emilio Fox, who we just saw in New York.
Yeah, baby! We're on?
I think we're on.
You're on. We're on. I'm recording this week. We on?
We're on. Monday, time for Josh and Andy. 2 Jews, 2 mics, and some high chew candy. Make a pot of coffee, trust me, it'll come in handy. Andy said that to his wife on his wedding night. Now he goes to therapy to get his mind right. Andy smoking pot, tweeting the Russian bots. If you ask what he said, he probably forgot. Josh Weinstein is a motherfucking pimp. Mock movies on TV when he was a little kid. Now he's making docs better than Michael Moore ever did. Every week they analyze current events, then they throw in some impressions and some funny accents. Minnesota and New York to the Golden State. They won't ever sell out except to Rhombus Space. And he always forgets to plug the show, so even though they're known across the globe, they have an audience that's smaller than the suits of Jimmy O's. Jimmy O's, Jimmy O's. That's why this show will never go viral. Remember the name, they call it Thought Spiral.
The following podcast is audio.
Oh, it's so good. I haven't heard that in a while. I love that line. Smaller. Was it smaller?
Than the suits of Jimmy O.
Oh, my God.
An audience that's smaller than the suits of Jimmy O.
That, to me, takes the cake.
That's some gold, my friend.
I think
Amelia.
of a tiny little suit. A tiny little suited Andy Kindler. I go by Jimmy O's a lot.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's not near where I live.
No,
but,
you just walk miles.
I just walk by it a lot.
Yeah.
And what I do is I wear elevator boots.
Yes.
And this is what I do. It's a bit just for me, all right? On Tuesday, I go by in stilts, and I give them the finger.
You must be this tall to walk past us.
On Wednesday, it's elevator boots.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the week, they don't get it.
Pogo stick? Is there already
No.
pogo stick?
That would be good. I'll add that.
Yeah.
The rest of the week, they don't get the joke, but they're just ill-fitting jackets I wear. Oh, small. Their audience is smaller than the suits at Jimmy O's. And you know what? That was written quite like a year and a half ago.
About a year.
A year ago. And there's been no uptick in our listenership. Has there? A little bit, right?
There's been some ticks. There's been some
Yeah.
upticks and some downticks.
And how we doing with our buy a coffee? And there's no reason not to buy it. Still,
People are still buying us coffees. We appreciate that. Let's see if we have new subscribers.
Do we have new subscribers?
Normally, I'd save this for the end of the show, but
I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
apologize.
That's okay. You forced my hand. That's all right.
Normally, he'd save it for the end of the show. Like I ruined one of his
It's
joys.
like a treat. It's like
You know,
a
I gotta
treat
tell you
at the
something.
end.
I can tell you something, Josh. In this business, you gotta learn to roll with the punches.
We do have a new subscriber. Tom Fitzpatrick is on board with us.
Bum,
Thank
bum,
you, Tom.
bum, bum, bum.
Welcome aboard. And thank you to everybody.
And you don't have to contribute. Just know that I don't have enough to eat. Think about that.
Right. So if you want Andy to live, buymeacoffee.com/thoughts.
It's your call, basically.
That's right.
Whether I'm undernourished. And you know, if I don't eat enough, you know what happens? Panic attack.
And now your dollar goes further because Andy will have his senior discount card.
And now it's time for another Andy Kindler panic.
The Andy Kindler panic note.
So we were in San Diego, and all of a sudden they have some kind of a trolley, and we both were like, "Where are we? I can't. Should we? Are we parked on the tracks? We go back, or we fall?" It was so poorly marked that we both were like, "Hey, thing," and I said, "Just park on the tracks. That's the safest area." But luckily, we didn't go on the tracks. And that's another Andy. Well, maybe not a good, but it's a
The Andy Kindler panic note. So it sounds like kind of a silent movie you had going there.
It was
Except
bad.
the train
Yeah.
never showed up.
And also, I got lost in Fiesta del Mundo. Bizarre del Mundo. Sounds like something. Doc. Bizarre del Mundo.
Go to the Slauson cutoff. Cut off your Slauson.
No. No, I had trouble finding coffee, and I got this. It was like a Mexican coffee, and it was kind of sweet, and it had hot chocolate in it. And then I was like, I don't know, will my stomach be good with this? And then it passed. It's another panic. Panic Zone is brought to you by Excedrin. Don't panic. Take aspirin.
Seems like a Xanax.
Oh, it's brought to you by Xanax. When you're feeling like you're too panicky, maybe you should take it. Like Xanax would need to have the support. Let's do a commercial. You don't ever see commercials for that. You don't see on TV. Commercials for the drugs that are so clearly great.
Right.
No, it's all like show more of you with Alexa.
Right.
I don't think Alexa's an actual.
I don't think so either. So we're partying, and because it's Andy's birthday eve,
Woo!
I'm bearing down after coffeeing up.
And I'm experimenting with pot.
How's that going for you?
Well,
I don't think it'll be a match.
Well, in therapy, I've learned that just because people don't want me to be high sometimes doesn't mean that it's
That's what should happen.
No, it doesn't mean that they're wrong. I said to my therapist, I said, sometimes Josh requests that I not smoke before the podcast. And what were we talking about?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I wrote a song for questions.
Okay, good.
You want to hear it?
Do I?
Okay, you ready?
No, I was asking, do I?
What did you come up with?
I don't know.
Manishtana, they have to see questions. Is it because they haven't prepared their own material enough? It's kind of a takeoff on the 5 questions.
4 questions.
Why do I say 5?
Maybe another day at Hebrew school would have done you well.
I always ask the same 4. Look, you don't have to tell me about Judaism. The 4 questions: who, what, where, how, and what is Elijah's problem? I did make you laugh for real at the end there, through sheer effort.
Absolutely.
And now it's time for questions.
I asked the first question. Can I have 4 more questions? Was my first question. Jim Meehan says, I just wanted to send best wishes on the opening of The Fiddling Horse. Judging by the trailer, the movie that answers the Myron Cohn rhetorical question, what would we do with a horse anyway?
What will we do with all? Let me tell you something. Thank you, Jim. I've been waiting for this launch. And when I say launch, I'm talking about my pants. I've been waiting for this launch, and if it doesn't look good within the first 10 minutes, I will be leaving the theater. Are you sitting down close, or were you in the back?
I don't know.
And now, Josh tells me now he's dressing up with this tuxedo and a thing.
It's the thing that you didn't have.
Are you buying a new suit jacket, or are you wearing an existing suit jacket? Sports coat.
I've got a new sports coat.
You son of a bitch. Unbelievable. You're trying to one-up me for the old premiere. I know your game. You can leave it all.
Not super dressy, because it's a daytime thing.
That's what I thought. We mean a nighttime movie?
I mean, I'm not going to dress like a fucking camp counselor like you.
That's not nice. That's not nice. My father was killed by a camp counselor.
Really? With shingles? Whatever it was.
I already am feeling the benefits of not getting shingles.
Yeah.
From my shingles vaccine.
I wouldn't want to. I don't want you to have shingles.
You will have to. You will have to think about this at one point in your life. When are you going to turn 80 again? I went the other way with the age.
Yes.
When is it going to not be?
But how old is it? Isn't it like 60 for that? Shingle?
Will you stop saying it? When is it not going to be funny how old I am?
It's never going to be not funny, because I'm always going to be this much younger than you.
You'll always be like with it. Do you want to be 80 or do you want me to be 80 years old and we're still doing this? Would that be a good thing?
Well, that would get me to almost your age.
I'll tell you, I'm going to keep going no matter how many cups of coffee we get. So thank you, Jim.
Patented Phil says, no question, just wanted to say that 127 was comedy gold. Laughed my tuchus off. You guys get better with age, like cheese and Jim Belushi jokes.
Every time that's referenced, I think of myself reading your comment. The show's been off the air 5 years. 10 years, sorry. I apologize. James, I noticed, I saw Jim Belushi. Well, thank you. Yeah. I don't know if I should thank you. But he calls himself James Belushi as an actor? Or did that the way they...
He does, I think.
Yeah, that's bullshit. My Andrew Kindler as an actor?
I don't know.
Then forget it.
Are you? No.
Andrew Harvey Kindler. Which would be worse? Andrew Lee Harvey Oswald Kindler?
Yeah.
Andrew Lee Kindler? Andrew Harvey Oswald? Andy Oswald Kindler. That's the one.
There you go. But you do it Oswald.
Is there a difference?
Between Patton Oswalt and...
Oh, Oswald. I just forgot for a second that Patton's last name was not Oswald.
I'm trying to... Okay. This appears to be a well constructed joke, so I want to...
You want to give it its due?
I want to give it its due. So Dan Wade says, "Hey guys, really enjoyed last week's show. It was kind of a bittersweet time because it was the 1-year anniversary of when my pet dachshund, Freddie, went missing. He loved Andy's voice and would always listen with me. Thanks for making my week a little better." It's sad. I'm very sorry, Dan.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Zombieland 2, Red, White, and Blonde.
Wait a second. Come on. I can't. I thought you were doing a joke. It wasn't a joke. You said it was a very well-crafted joke. He said his dachshund passed away. Did I miss a joke? It's been a year since his dachshund passed away?
No, he went missing.
Oh, so he still hasn't.
Okay. Zombieland 2, Red, White, and Blonde says, "Guys, number 127, great as usual. Can I wish my dog happy rescue birthday? A year ago, I found the boy of my life, Denny, short for Dennis Dogberg. He's the best wiener dog, though he whines a little when I play the podcast near him."
It's a two email joke.
It is.
So what are we supposed to do now? Give him a shout out to the wiener dog that hasn't returned?
Huh? No, it's two different people wrote the. It's two.
No, there's not two different people.
Names.
No, you're not.
That's why it's a well-constructed joke.
But they're not.
He went by two different handles. One guy saying, "A year ago I lost my dog," and another one going, "Hey, this is the 1 year of me finding my little wiener dog friend." It's a well-constructed joke.
Okay.
Two different handles.
I just got the joke. Right. I just got the joke. That's so hilarious. But he hid the joke with two different addresses?
Yes.
Which I know is easy to do if you know how to use email, but that's
right.
still,
it's two different accounts. Yes.
I still think it's very cool.
Yes.
It's the 1 year anniversary. When did you figure out that these were connected?
Pretty quickly. Okay. I did go, wow, that's that's about how, that's how it went.
Thanks for making me look like an idiot in the middle of it.
Sure.
I look like I couldn't care less about his other dog.
Josh Cater says, "Andy, I heard you on an old episode of Hey, We're Back with Jonathan Katz doing a hilarious bit about becoming his personal assistant. Was that scripted or improvised?"
Everything I've done that's with specifically Jonathan Katz is there is improv because that's his style. I separated
directed improv.
I don't know. I feel like I'm getting a thing of blowhard. Do you feel it? Can you feel it?
No,
okay. So maybe I'm okay. But no, like he was involved. You know, there's shows like that, like Bob's Burgers. Some of the same people created the two shows, but Bob's Burgers is scripted. But Jonathan Katz's stuff was everything he's done that I've done. There's been improv in it. Like he just writes the bare bones of it.
Okay.
Oh, God. I made it sound like it's more. I made it sound...
You did nothing wrong there.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're stoned.
I'm stoned, and I want to tell you, the only reason why I'm stoned is because Josh dared me.
Birthday dare. Oh!
Is that like a Charles Nelson Riley?
Yes.
Or Alan Seuss?
It was Charles Nelson Riley in my head. If Alan Seuss makes it funnier for you, it can be Alan Seuss.
You know who I got in person when Dana Schwartz.
Yeah.
I said, "Are you from Buffalo? or something like that, and he didn't realize I was doing the joke because I think he's from Rochester.
Yes, from Rochester.
Take that out.
Michael Lapsley says, hi, I know that Andy doesn't like, quote, bathroom humor, but what are your thoughts on farts? I myself farted twice while typing this, and I've never felt more alive.
See, I don't like it.
All right, fair enough.
I don't hate it. Well, I do. I kind of, no, I think it's my problem. What's your reaction to that?
It was childish.
Right. So what's wrong? There's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it.
But there's nothing right with it.
It wasn't strong. It wasn't like the strong two-parter dead dog, or, lost dog, found dog, 1-2 punch.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still struggling with my bathroom humor because sometimes it's just over the top anyway.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's my own issues.
I was talking about you on the, it might have been after, but it might have been on the podcast today with Segura. Is this what it's like with Andy? I was like, no, Andy gets off board with the shit jokes. There's lots of shit jokes on Segura show.
So you actually talked about the difference, that I was a little baby.
No, I was, I didn't make you look really bad.
Well,
I was just saying that was your third rail, because Tom was saying how his third rail was people kissing in public. He has a real problem with that.
I know. I'm starting to get more that way than I used to get. I thought when I was younger, it was like, hey, we're the love generation or something. But it does look weird when the kissing gets intense in public.
Right.
And I finally have to say, honey, I know we're married, but
Pa.
Tampopo.
Prithvi says, here's one I've been thinking about. The more honest I am with the people I care about, the less the people I care about are honest with me. That is how it was written, but I think he just...
Say it again.
I'm going to say it correct,
okay,
with the correct syntax. Here's one I've been thinking about. The more honest I am with the people I care about, the less the people I care about are honest with me, specifically my girlfriend, but I feel like this applies broadly.
Well, this is a tricky issue because I have been... Sometimes if your honesty clicks into something about your girlfriend that is, what I'm saying? Like, it triggers something.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the real question is always about the spirit in which the honesty is delivered.
That's true. And I don't think you should always be, and it's not that you shouldn't always be honest, but you don't have to say everything that comes to your mind.
That's right. Withholding is
it's perfectly fine.
Perfectly, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tough thing. I can't tell what's happening over there. We're not a love line, so I don't.
Yeah, I mean, this could be either way. I mean, it could be
something real.
It could be an adverse reaction to intimacy or honesty, or it could be an adverse reaction to your delivery.
True.
But because there's a lot of people who do go, hey, I'm just being honest.
That's true.
And use it as a weapon.
But also, let's say you're being honest about. Let's say he's depressed, or someone in the relationship is depressed, and they talk about it, and the other person is sensitive about hearing about depression. It kind of like, oh, can you not tell me you're depressed every time you're depressed? You know what I mean? It's like it could trigger different things. So it really depends on what he means by being honest. It's not like. But it could also mean, if he means it's related to his whole life, it could be something else like that. It's just he's interested in more things than his friends are.
Maybe.
He's deeper. Is it a he?
Try lying for a month and see how that works out.
Don't take it personally, I always say, when I take things personally.
Right.
That would be a good slogan for me to try to do.
Don't take it personally, my therapist always says to me.
Why am I writing that down? That's your joke.
No, it's your joke. I don't have a therapist.
That's going to be a good joke for me. I say it like I'm stealing.
Happy birthday.
Don't buy me anything for my birthday.
I didn't.
Good. But if the listeners do, don't.
Buy him coffee. He'll get half.
Oh, that's right. That's true. It's unbelievable. Josh has sent me what I call he does studio accounting. So all of a sudden,
we've gotten over 3 coffees, Andy. It's amazing.
Why is there miscellaneous? What's miscellaneous about the when we're getting
You'll
paid?
get yours when we're in profit. Mad City Architect says, so the Fiddling Horse debuts in New York City on Saturday. More importantly, where are you two going to dine while there?
We were
talking about that, and
we're kicking around a couple of things.
We both agree, though, that there's no poison worse than planning a get together of many people.
And not to make it more Jewish, but also we're aware that it's an expensive town. You could walk down the block, have a bourbon and 7, boom, kick the soap to Oakland.
Let me just say for the record, that was Andy's concern.
Kick the soap to Oak. I can't believe you would hang me out to dry. When you said, if any of these assholes think I'm picking up their steak dinner, okay, that may be, you know what? I'll own it. I'll own it that I fulfilled the stereotype of Jews.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know what we're eating. I'm trying not to. I got very uptight for a little bit about, trying to make reservations at places and trying to plan the trip, and then realized I don't like planning, and those kind of obligations tend to bum out both my wife and I. So,
yeah,
I'm gonna wing it.
Neither you or your wife are you're go. What's the opposite of getter? Go. Stop. I'll come up with it. It's very funny. It's just some kind of an opposite joke.
We're stop takers.
See how easy it is. And people say to me, mostly after my shows, they say, comedy is obviously not easy.
But I always pick a hotel with good food in it. So
I pick a hotel with it's called Mom's House in Queens. I don't know what I think I'm doing. Do you know what I'm doing?
That was like that character that on an SNL Weekend Update. The comic.
Fred Armisen?
No. Fred did one like that too, but the
where's like
the kid with the curly hair.
Yes. The thing about Josh is he doesn't remember names, he doesn't remember sketches, but he can remember the kid with the curly hair. 65 degrees, downtown Los Angeles. Don't forget, coming up in a half hour, we're going to be giving away Seals and Crofts mugs. I'm sorry.
You think I'm going to bail you out now after that?
No, I'm going to. Why would you? It's gold. You can put that anyway. You can make it into a. Did you ever go into radio when they had carts?
I did in high school. We had carts.
Yeah, so they would put like a funny sound on a cart.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now today you sample it.
Stand By Your Man says, I am so far behind on test shows because I haven't watched the Dylan doc, and my brain won't let me listen till I've done my homework. You OCD people.
It's true. You will enjoy that Dylan doc.
I miss you guys. When I've caught up, I'll have forgotten about this tweet. Time is strange. What? No, you're stoned. In fact, you're right.
I have to say that it's very hard. It's very hard to even talk about these things sometimes because I know the way I listen to podcasts that sometimes I have to take time off if I love a podcast. Well, I'm going to listen to Cold no one's going to listen to us like you listen to Cold, which is like, I got to find out what the next song he wrote.
I don't know. I think people are pretty interested in the anecdotes.
There's something wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I'm a little panic-doted.
Panic-dote Ted.
That just shows you every word ends with TED. Basically, every word.
Yeah, every word does end. Except none in that last sentence I just spoke. Or this one. Hey, wait, this one doesn't have one either.
Wait, Ted.
Yeah, that's
you heard me.
Guy Incognito says, I hate to beat a dead horse into the cold ground, but I seem to recall James Mason and Huell Hauser reenacting some scenes from Breaking Bad. Huh, how did that go, he said.
Well, you know what? It sounds like you are backing your way into a request for a James Mason impression. But I think the premise is refreshing.
What? Why is this meth blue? Why, it's because it's 100% pure. Well, 99.8. The Heisenberg recipe. That's fantastic. That is amazing blue meth. I've seen other meth. I've taken other meth.
I forgot the show you were doing.
But this is blue. Why, yes, it is. We shall clean up. we shall corner the market of the Southwest. And with that, I bid you adieu.
I'm telling you, folks, this is the one thing that the paywall would have helped. I would make every one of these
We'd have
bastards.
writers.
Right, that's true. But you'd have to pay for this. These are going to be cameos. I'm Josh. I'm James Mason. Bobby. People should pay you $50 to say, Bobby, happy birthday, Bobby. All I care about sometimes is making you laugh. Bobby.
That's fine. If that's your goal in life,
Not my full goal.
No.
I'd like to kick a field goal one day like George Plimpton or something.
Stephen Elton Yates says, guys.
Stephen Elton Yates.
I hope to see you in New York City on Saturday at 1:30 p.m. What's your lunch order from the deli? I can't promise Katz's. I'm serious if you're hungry. I don't want to be stuck with a sandwich at the movie, honestly. But I appreciate it.
I appreciate the offer, but I will feel guilty. I'll feel guilty the whole time.
It's pastrami would be my.
That would be mine too. But all I'll be thinking about is how long can I leave the pastrami at room temperature?
Right. It's smoked. You're good.
You think so?
Yeah.
But then you're back to the. It's a wonderful thing to do, but you're carrying around a sandwich.
I don't want to babysit a sandwich at my movie premiere. Let's just be honest.
You don't want to smell like a sandwich either. We're Jews to begin with.
That's like the Getty picture caption.
That's like what?
And the Getty photos caption. Andy Kindler, J. Elvis Weinstein, and a pastrami sandwich at the premiere of the Fiddling Horse.
Jews shouldn't. We're already Jews. We don't want to smell like deli.
That's right.
But thank you for the offer.
Yes. Scary Harold says you guys are good pals now, but upon first meeting, did the other person, as it so often happens, irritate you / rub you the wrong way? Keep it going.
I think that we.
I still haven't irritated Andy.
No. Yes. I always enjoy. No, there's nothing. Unfortunately, for a fellow like me, there's nothing irritating about you. I am naturally irritating, but I have talked about you in therapy that, as I'm getting closer in my relationship with my wife, I also am getting closer in my relationship with you. Not at the same time.
Well, concurrently. And
that is,
sorry.
That's okay. You can't help it. Part of me is like Jerry Lewis. Tell that motherfucker to stop having coughing, asshole.
Telling your therapist you're getting closer.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But what was the question? I forgot.
This is a tangent. There was no question.
Yes. As I get closer to you, I'm less the way I used to be, which I think is objectively less annoying. Which is. I couldn't take negative feedback. I couldn't take any feedback that, I heard feedback wrong. I took things personally. It's hard in friendships when you do that.
Right.
And I thought that I was someone who was, until you told me I was a hermit, I thought I was actually like a social guy, but I realize now through therapy and everything that I'm not in some ways. So, she brought up today, isn't it interesting, as you less fear of intimacy. And believe me, I'm making it sound like pop psychology, but it's not.
Right.
It's basically if, let's say working on the speech together. 3 years ago, my reaction was, what are you saying about 3 years ago, my reaction may have been really misunderstanding the feedback and really getting upset.
Right.
So I'm not saying that's, because my other problem that I'm having now is wanting to be perfect, which I'm far from perfect.
Right.
But
sorry, I didn't mean to agree with that part, but
so fast. But so I think I'm objectively less annoying. But I would like to actually hear your take, because I can take it.
On if you're less annoying?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wasn't measuring it at an annoying point.
You weren't looking at it like I would look at it, thinking you were looking at it. Right.
Yeah. I would say your skin is certainly thicker.
Right.
When it comes to, I don't know if that's because, my agenda is pure when it comes to you, except for trying to be funny. The only time I'm trying to hurt you is when I'm trying to be funny. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think on the show, I mean, there's that context too. I think you're less annoying when you aren't stoned, for sure.
Even like on this part,
like right now, you're fine.
Yeah, because we knew, but it's also,
Yeah. But like
I knew it was just going to be questions.
When you used to show up stoned and then drink weed the whole time, those were tougher days, because it's not a question of me liking you or not. It's a question of you not making an effort to connect when you're in that mode.
Well, that's a very interesting thing you say in light of, I've been talking about that with my therapist about how I can over-medicate, like, especially since pot's been legal.
Right.
Like, I'm still high from the thing at 2 and I'm doing something at 4. And so when she said to me, well, what do you think about that feedback? Because my thing is, if someone tells me not to smoke, I'll try and sneak it or something like that.
Right.
So when I was able to separate,
well, and I think your sense of professionalism ultimately was what not my scolding is what made you stop. I think you realized you were much better on the show when you weren't super stoned.
Right, but I think the truth is that was true from the very first time we did it. Whether I ate a brownie on the day when we did the Alex sitting in, so I don't think that smoking pot could ever really help me on the show, because it's not a show. Unless I don't mind this, because it is literally answering questions, so there's nothing I have to do anymore.
Right.
My part of the show. So, but the point is that what I've been dealing with in therapy is that in my head, what I say to myself is, I hear it like, well, you're going to have to stop smoking pot. You're a horrible person because you smoke. I hear things the way I was raised, which is, it's like,
well, you're a black and white kind of guy.
Right.
Yeah.
So the fact is, yes, I have over-medicated, either on the show and at various points in my life.
Right.
And then she also said,
and I would never argue for abstinence.
Right.
I would argue for smarter use,
Yeah. Well, like I agree. I agree 100%. And also because the truth is I don't have a good memory.
Right.
Because of either anxiety or whatever it is, and that doesn't help it.
Right. And I think that's the other thing that's changed is, I think you've eased off a bit. I get the sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not gonna, in the old days, I might lie and go, I haven't smoked pot today. Well, but I smoked in the afternoon.
Right.
But so because I'm not putting him, this is the other thing, because I'm not putting myself down just going, you're a bad person. I'm actually saying, she's trying to get me to think, how does this feel? What does this do to me? Instead of predicting it. Yeah. Why am I doing it? How does it feel? So when I smoke in the afternoon, I know by 9:00.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Adderall, but see, I've also over Adderall too.
Right. Yeah. No, and I've started, over 100 and whatever shows. I certainly can tell an Adderall day, an edible day. I can usually tell within 5 minutes if any of those conditions apply.
Yeah, the Adderall, the over Adderall. I'm trying to think of what that sounds like, but it's like, oh, I'm here. I'm ready to go.
It's
Oh, I'm listening. I'm also hyper aware that I'm listening or something. But I need to do Adderall. I mean, I need to do it on a daily. I don't have to, and I'm doing less of it than I've. Sometimes I don't do it like 3 a day. I'll do less.
Yeah.
But it is good for me to do it when I want to do it, and I do it right.
Yeah.
So it's interesting though, because my whole life it's been like.
But we've been through many drug journeys over the course of this. We've been on a 100% increase in what's the antidepressant.
Oh my God!
And then back down again.
That's 100% increase.
Yes.
And you know what's amazing, that maybe I had to go up to come down, but to that fact that I could feel it so clearly.
Yeah.
More disoriented.
Right. No, and I felt that too. I mean, that's when you were falling down and shit too, remember?
Well, when I was falling down was before the CPAP machine. Have I been doing the CPAP machine since the show started? Or is it
no, you started during the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that also, the sleep deprivation thing.
The sleep deprivation. The thing about it is I definitely think I'm going to make it till 65 or 7 or something like that. But I have 2 words for you. Elder care insurance. That's 3 words. Old insurance, long-term care insurance. Anyway, I agree with everything you've said. I respect where you're coming from, and I don't know who have just become right now.
I don't either. But I think you've also you've dialed back on the reverence of me too.
Well, the reverence.
Which is good.
Well, the reverence. The flip side of the reverence is you're the enemy.
Right.
Yeah.
As I said, as an earlier show, you rarely hear stories about, boy, he sure stayed on that pedestal a long time.
Yes. Well, yeah, there was a word. There is that. Did pedestal you for a while.
You did, and I think we've calmed down from that. I think being co-starring in a movie probably helped that.
Well, also the fact that you took up pedal steel. Get the joke? Pedestal. Pedal steel.
Yes.
It's very funny. There's something
adapt Ted in it.
Do you know the thing that's interesting was that's not even was his name, was not Ted.
That is weird.
That was his stage name.
Just for the joke.
Just for the joke.
Yeah.
And it was, I'll say this, it was his best joke. Ted, if you're out there, I mean it with love, though. I don't mean it with, I don't want him to feel bad. Like he's listening to this goddamn podcast.
Yeah. He's personally injured. Now he's going to have to come on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. You had me right, Andy. Because he had that kind of sound.
Did he?
I'm Ted.
He was Southern?
He had a Southern twang.
Sell that at the earlier part.
I'm Ted. And I just want to say he go, oh, he would do this thing too. He'd go, hey, everybody go, whoop. Hey, everybody go, whoop. Something like that. He would go from side to side of the stage and get people to go, whoop.
That's what you want in an MC.
That's why I think he got injured to begin with.
Train the audience to make noises that aren't laughter. That's what I always want.
Maybe he was a workman's comp. He could have been attacked at work.
He could have.
I am switching now from the rest of the coffee
to
seltzer. Seltzer water. I'm closing this baby down with a splash. 1 hour to Andy Kindler's birthday.
1 hour.
In the real life.
1 hour. Take your places. Susan has the surprise party all ready to spring when you get on.
I so wanted it. I hope when I get home from this, you're already there. Allison's wearing a thing. And there's 50 to 60 of my friends.
Yes.
At my condo.
Yes.
Going, woo, you're still alive. There's no way you can celebrate at my age.
And you do the funny heart-clutching gag.
Elizabeth.
Greg Kelly says, I saw an old James Mason movie with Pat Boone and a duck, and they were going to the Earth's core. How would James sing Tutti Frutti? Tutti Frutti, oh Rudy. Tutti Frutti, oh Rudy. I
hope this isn't going to become your American Pie.
I've stuck my dick into a pie.
Not that one.
Oh.
I meant long, long time ago. I can still.
Do you recall what was the feel? The day
the music died. I never once in my lifetime drove a Chevy to the levee.
No. That's good because it was pointless.
Because the levee was dry?
Exactly. Heather M. says, when life gets tough/sad/weary, what songs do you listen to that make you feel better? Honestly, I don't have a go-to song.
I don't either, but I did listen to an old I heard a little bit of an old REM album that made me feel like, I can get back into them.
Yeah.
And their stuff was, The Cure. The Cure, even though he was very odd, his songs always cheer me up. Bum, 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 bum,
The Cure cheers you up. I think they'd be bummed out that that's the case.
I love that guy. I'm not answering the question properly. I like cherish is the word. No, there is music we like when we're sad.
I don't. I mean, I don't. I'm saying I don't have go-to stuff. But for some reason, except for when I was really like junior high-ish, high schoolish maybe. Like I was never I never had, that wasn't part of my mood moderation music, really. Like singing, the thing that elevates my mood is singing, really.
Wow.
There's an endorphin rush if I can sing, if I get into like, that's why singing in the car I like, but if I can sing full voice loud,
that feels good.
That has an endorphin quality to me.
Oh no! When I was a teenager, music was even more affecting to me. So then I could hear, "I can't live if living is without you."
Yeah, I never had like wallow.
God.
I had no wallow out.
I thought I was in love because like the loves that I was in 5th grade was to me earth shattering.
Yeah, I'm so dead inside. I always have been. I've never had.
Is that part of your vows?
Huh?
Was that part of your vows?
Yes. I don't know. I've never been.
You can't.
I've never been dramatic.
Okay, well, like my friend Bill, like I think we all don't like. I think in general the Doors are not liked as much as they were.
Yeah.
But he told me when he first heard "Break On Through the Other Side," he got high. It was the first time he got high. So it's those kind of things I do remember. Like I can get into that feeling of loud music.
There's very few bands actually that have had that much esteem flux.
It is,
there was just
right?
a turning point where everyone went, okay, they're douchey.
Because when I
but
grew,
they were revered growing up.
When I grew up,
yeah.
they were revered. When I experienced them at age 12 or whatever, or 14, they were revered.
Yeah.
Or maybe he died in 1970.
Yeah, but I mean, even I was born after that, but they still, even in my teen years, they were still revered as the way Kurt Cobain was sort of revered by the following generation.
Now, Jimi Hendrix is still revered.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, it's strange that the Doors,
because he was so full of himself. And,
it was pretentious horseshit largely.
Yeah,
I mean, I
am the Lizard King.
I've always kind of felt that way about them, but.
And a loungy singer, kind of a not to sing the what and the who.
But I had lunch with Ray Manzarek.
You did?
I did. I'm sure I've told you that.
No, I don't remember this.
Well, that's two different things. But he had no sense of humor about it, really. Like he really liked Dana Gould. Dana Gould did this JFK Doors mashup thing years ago, I think on Comic Strip Live, and he liked that. But
how did you end up having when it was back on the show?
Huh?
How did you end up having lunch with him?
He was a Mystery Science Theater fan, and there was another fan who was friends with him who arranged this lunch with he and them and Trace and I.
Was it the lunch fun besides the sense of humor thing?
Yeah, it was pleasant and nice, and he was an interesting guy, but he took the Doors shit very seriously. He didn't have
a sense of humor about it.
Yeah, didn't have a sense of humor or irony about it at all.
Well, God bless his thing, because I know he's passed away.
And he spoke of Jim very much
reverentially.
As if he were sort of prophet-like,
Well, God rest his soul and all that kind of thing. But I kind of didn't like his organ playing that much on the X stuff. He didn't play on X, and then. But I do like his stuff in the Doors.
He produced some good X stuff, I thought.
He did, but a lot of. I think in my mind, I was like, "Why is he on it?" He was like,
Yeah.
But I went through that. It was a very judgmental time period for me.
I'm glad you're over that.
You know who seemed like a cool guy, though, was Robbie Krieger. When he was
guitar player.
I think he was, when Dennis Miller had a show, he was the band leader or something.
No, that was Andy Summers.
So
from the Police.
You're right. So there was no Robbie Krieger oriented thing. He's alive, though.
I think Robbie Krieger.
And I think
Robbie Krieger is the last living.
I think he's a good guitarist.
Yeah? No,
he doesn't sound schmaltzy.
It's not like it was all shit, but overall, it's the same. To me, it's like the same vibe as Batman is dark.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
And I'm fascinated by. I follow David Crosby, and he has very strong opinions.
Yes,
and a lot of it's based on the fact that he's a great musician. So for example, he says he couldn't stand the bass line that Manzarek would play on the songs. Yeah, so that made me start thinking about that.
Bass module. I can't think of who made that bass module.
What does that mean, module? It was like a repeating sound thing?
No, a module is a part of a machine, an add-on to a machine.
Oh, that had that bass sound.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just him playing deep notes here.
No, it was a particular bass.
Wow. I'm gonna sing when you never see me in the soul kitchen. Some of his lyrics were good, and some of his lyrics were so horrible. Not to see the earth, not to see the sun, nothing left to do but run, 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 run.
Andy, I want to kill you.
Mama? Is that a mama one?
Yeah.
Mama?
Mama, I want to kill you.
Papa? Mama? Oh, that's bad. But I did like at one point, Mama, you had me, but I never had you. I like that song. I like that John Lennon solo album.
Yeah.
I am not just the world's most boring man. Is that a character? The world's most boring man. I like that song. He's the world's most boring man.
You spiced it up too much with that accent.
I like music. I like music. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just go.
I like a lot of...
You can just be yourself.
Shut the fuck up. That's one of my go-to bits.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Cornered Badger with Andy Kindler.
I don't like when people make honey badger references because I don't really know what they're talking about.
Well, then I won't.
Okay.
Seth the Third says, "Why aren't you guys ever on that hella funny Byron Allen show?"
Oh, I can't wait. You want me to call somebody?
Yeah.
What's his current gig?
Didn't you hold him up once or something? You held
I
him
held
up for
him up.
union pay or something?
Yes, I am a regular Norman Ray. Norman Ray. He did a show called comedy.com or comedy.something, and he said it was going to be union, and then when we did the show...
He said it was going to be comedy.org, and then when we got there, it was comedy.com.
Right. And he didn't want to pay... He wanted the pay to be the same, but he didn't want to pay residuals. But anyway, he couldn't do it because it was a syndicated show. It's just literally you can't do it. But I just said I'm leaving. I left, and they called me back, and they turned the whole show union. And that was like, that's how I got my star on the Walk of Fame.
And that's how it didn't get picked up. So you've never been on Comics Unleashed?
No, this was, I was on the show that he was on. He promotes a stand-up show where he comes on and goes, hey, this guy's coming on. This guy never was on the one which, as I like to call it, Comics Unleashed, yet unable to get away from Byron Allen.
Yes.
That's the worst show because that's the show where he went, now, Josh, I understand that you have a joke about being from Minnesota.
Right. It's like one of your setups. Yeah, I mean, but this is how comic wiring works. It's a terrible show. I wouldn't want to be on it, and yet I'm hurt I've never been asked.
You can't be hurt on that one. It's like being hurt that you never were...
I'm not hurt about any of it.
I know, but I wanted to have a good example. That's like wanting to be on Cops. Would you be on if it was possible, would you be on a Make Me... I don't think I would do it. Make Me Laugh? That wouldn't work today. Let me try and make you laugh. You ready? This is the worst radio.
I can't... Didn't you do Make Me Laugh?
I don't think so.
No?
I know that it was being done.
It was being done. I had a couple of friends who did it.
No, I didn't do Make Me Laugh. When Mark Cohn hosted it, maybe? And we'll be back with people's memories.
No, there was someone else.
David Tell?
Howie Mandel, I think, maybe.
Oh, no, then I didn't do it. Because I would have remembered it.
Yeah. You would have made me laugh, though. That's the thing.
Bang. That made me laugh.
There you go.
I was going to try and make you... How about you last week? Duh. When you did your dumb guy? Duh. Duh.
Is it spicy? Michelle Wisecarver.
Oh, Michelle, good evening to you. You are the wisest carver of all.
Do either of you gentlemen ever go through phases where you get weirdly obsessed about a certain subject and devour every bit of info you can find about it? I went through a shark phase, an unsolved Hollywood murders phase, and a Joy Division phase, to name a few.
Well, we know about the true crime. I am crazy about the true crime, but I go through waves with it. And I don't know anything about Joy Division, but I would like to.
That's not the question.
Have I ever been like that?
Yes.
Well, yeah, with the true crime and REM.
Yeah, I go in like I don't have long periods. Although this year I've been in an extended Orson Welles jag, just because he's such a
character and
bitchy old queen. You know?
Well, I remember the year I was into a Jag, the show Jag.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, but I'll say my experience with podcasts is instructive in that I usually go back to true crimey things, but I do get burnt out on topics and have to move on.
Yeah.
But I do get obsessed.
Yeah, I just go down it like a one night kind of like chain of things online, but I don't hobbyize things very much.
I think you're coming up with new words now. I think you're really pushing the envelope.
I don't hobby Ted.
You've done 5 to 7 callbacks at Ted, and every one of them I've enjoyed.
That's why I keep going. John Handcuff says, I would love to hear a baby ask Jimmy Stewart whether or not something was too intense for his palate or not.
John's a very funny comedian, by the way.
Thank you guys for so many great Mondays.
And he's a very funny comedian who I worked with somewhere. Oh, in Bloomington.
Why, you're just a baby. Well, you look very hungry there, little fella. Why don't I open this can of Gerbers? What's that? Is it spicy?
Classic. I want that on a cart, too. Happy. It's almost here.
Happy birthday, you old building and loan.
40 minutes. But you know what else is almost here? Christmas. Jeremy, warm up the
Christmas.
You said I was an old man. You never would be dibbity-boo. Dibbity-bibbity-boo.
You once called me a stoned, forgetful old man. What are you but a stoned, forgetful young man? Miserable little feature act crawling in here on your hands and knees. Nothing but a joint and a beer. Why, you're worth more dead than alive.
How about when Jimmy Stewart gets mad at him? You stupid old, what does he say? What'd you do with the money, you stupid old man? To his uncle, right?
Yeah.
Give me all that.
What did you do, Billy?
I don't know.
You stupid son of a bitch. You've lost everything, you dumb cocksucker.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
I am fucked up the ass royally, you dumb son of a bitch.
Fuck you, Bannister. Old Bannister that breaks. Now, Maria, stop playing that stupid music. I said stop playing it, you stupid. I can't take it. You know why?
Enough with the piano, you little waste of sperm, you.
You can't take it. You waste of sperm.
Yoshi.
Hee-haw.
Yoshi.
Yoshi Yamamoto, Yoshi Yamamoto, Yoshi Mama, Yoshi Yama, Mama,
Yamamoto.
Sweet.
Tim Heidecker was on the Majority Report to promote his new movie, Mr. America, which looks very funny. And during the interview, he mentioned Mystery Science Theater was one of his inspirations. Josh, have you ever talked to Tim before, and did the show come up? No, I never have. Never met him.
I have.
And he scares you, right?
More Tim and Eric scare me.
Okay.
No, he's very funny, but the thing that's interesting is that you know already how his name was pronounced.
Yeah.
It's Tim Heidecker.
So I said it right?
Yeah. Okay. And I thought it's Heidecker.
Okay.
And don't make that mistake. Now, he's very funny. He's very funny, but I don't know much Tim and Eric. I know mostly Tim Heidecker. Like his stuff solo.
Yeah.
He does like a cop show. I think like a fake cop show.
Yeah. No, I think he's funny. I'm glad I was a tiny little part of inspiring him.
I wish someone would be inspired by me.
I wish they would too.
I know, like Andy Rooney even. Or something. Well, he's older. But like one of these young guys, like Sebastian Maniscalco.
I think you inspired Andy Rooney to die.
I hope I did, because he was very annoying.
Really?
This is my new edgy guy.
James Curl says, we're about to be subjected to a debate with 12 participants on stage at one time. Almost surely a recipe for chaos. What's the maximum number of debaters you can have on stage at one time and have it be a productive exercise?
Probably 4.
4, maybe 6.
Maybe 6.
Yeah.
You can't have
I tweeted tonight, we're about to see a debate, a 3-hour debate. That's the same length as a football game. But even football won't let you have 12 players on the field.
That's good. There was some, I don't know, it's hard to watch. Did you watch it? Did you like it? Or
I watched a little bit. My ADD can't take the 12-person debate.
No.
Because it's just like, it's like another thing I tweeted is it's like watching, it's not so much a debate as like an improv structure called soundbite.
And you can tell they're all hurrying and.
Yeah. It's not a good format. And it's just, it's, I like a lot of them.
I know that Cory Booker is not going to win.
Cory Booker's not going to win, but there's a lot of good things about Cory Booker too.
He seems phony to me.
He's got Obama syndrome.
He wants to be Obama.
Yeah. He keeps taking these big rhetorical swings that he's trying too hard,
Well, whenever they, like, whether even it's Julian Castro or whatever, whenever they do I was in Indiana. And I met a guy named Schmacky Schmang Schmang. Because Obama had kind of, he wasn't the first person to do it, but he did a pretty good job with it. Yeah. But whenever they do that, it sounds to me like, here comes the politics.
Right. Yeah. No, you can't use his tricks because he was a unique politician. But, in the same way, there's not another Trump, there won't be another Obama either. There'll be a different form of hopefully inspirational person.
Right. Hillary, maybe again.
There's a lot, I like Pete Buttigieg a lot.
I do.
I like a lot of these people a lot. I think Pete, if I were to actually go, who's the person I think is the person I would connect with the most on that stage, it would probably be Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, because he's not doctrinaire. Like the thing that, I don't even want to get into it, but the Medicare for All, it's like, no, only my way is, it's like ridiculous.
Amy Klobuchar snapped back tonight. So.
I think she did.
Yeah, she did good.
She's gotten better in the last month.
She has. Well, that's one of the things I look at in candidates is, are you getting better at this? Are you improving at this? Hillary never did because she thought she
never got better.
No. And like a lot of, Kerry never got better.
He was a terrible campaign. I voted for him, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Gore had a terrible campaign.
Gore had a really ugly campaign.
Yeah. I hate the guy.
But Elizabeth Warren has gotten better. She had a rough, now she's starting to take some flack. She has to learn how to do that. But
well, one thing you can't do, and this is only my advice for anybody, is don't get into, I've got a plan for it. It's like, we already know you have a plan for it. Don't repeat your hook line.
Right.
Hey, guess what? I've got a solution.
Even Bernie's like into the because he scored it last time. Because I wrote the damn bill. Thing. But like tonight, there was no oomph behind the.
He seemed nicer than normal.
Yeah, I think more blood flow will do that.
Jokes about heart attacks.
It wasn't even that much of a joke. I think it really does help.
These people, some of them are need to be younger.
Yeah. Mark Thompson says, Josh, were you ever forced to participate in the former Midwestern tradition of putting in storm windows? I was, in fact. I didn't quite get it as a kid, but I remember having to hold them at some.
I remember the transition, even in New York, to better windows, but we never had storm windows.
Yeah, it was like a yearly installation and then deinstallation. I'll
say one more thing, quick thing. I think Joe Biden is not doing well.
I think Joe Biden's not doing well either. He has a hard time.
He's either having literally a hard time remembering or something.
there are a lot of incoherent sentences.
Yeah, it's actually concerning a little bit to me.
Yeah, I'd agree, honestly.
And also, I don't want someone to beat Trump like a drum. I just want you to win the election. All right, don't forget. Take that out and also put more reverb.
No, I don't think Joe's gonna go the distance.
He doesn't have any Joe-mentum. I didn't come up with that.
He's Joe-mented.
The 10th callback, and I'm still howling. Howling Wolf. I just said the name. Do you have to make a big...
Velvety says, what are your favorite...
Is that Velvety?
It's Velvety.
Hi, Velvety.
What are your favorite eateries in New York City? Where do you like to visit here? I love the Cherry Lime Ricky's at Tom's Diner in Brooklyn. When I used to love cheesecake, I loved going to Junior's.
I have to say that my knowledge...
Did you stop loving cheesecake, or did you stop eating cheesecake?
Well, I think maybe she doesn't live there anymore, maybe. What are we making? We don't know.
Said when I used to love cheesecake.
Ah. That's a whole thing. You brought up a whole thing now. What happened?
Right.
Well, I don't know. It's like I'm one of these people who moved away when I was 21. Well, not one of these people. I'm a person who did. And so I'm less and less familiar with anything there that's ongoing. I still love Berto's Pizza in Queens. And I go there every single time.
I like John's Pizza on Bleecker.
Yes.
That's good. I like Peter Luger's is really good. I do like Katz's.
You hear about Bonnie Greengrass?
Closed?
Closed by the health inspector.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not good. I don't like that.
Yeah, it doesn't take that much, though.
In New York, right?
Yeah.
In New York, there's a lot of rats and mice.
Right.
That's another way where I didn't add onto the anecdote.
But I don't know. This time, I'm the more I go anywhere, the less I try to agendaize my trip, you know.
I've gotten more into. I love to have bagels when I go to New York. I love to have pizza, and it's like I'm having a relationship recently with carbs that might have to be examined. I like cotton candy. I don't know if that's a New York tradition.
I like cotton candy grapes. Seth Third says, maybe I'm crazy, but I swear James Mason was in front of me at the McDonald's drive-thru, and he was frustrated he couldn't be heard. Am I crazy?
Yeah, because I would think that his voice is such of a low register that he would be scared that the people...
I said I will have a 40-pack of McNuggets.
I can't understand you, sir.
40-pack.
Of what, sir?
McNuggets. 40.
I don't understand
McNuggets.
You want McNuggets. I don't know, I'm the worst straight
with
man.
Earl Grey sauce. Not Tweet Bahara says, my dear friend Tweet Bahara, who I definitely am not, Twitter police, told me he was wistfully looking at the coffee shop where he, Kathy McCarthy, Perush, and Andy all had croissants last spring during the Moon Tower. Good times.
It was good times, and that's where I learned of Daniel Johnston, who I still haven't listened to yet, or so the documentary. But I miss Austin.
Let me just say, no rush.
You mean that, or you don't know? Well, we'll see.
No, it's just a joke.
It's a joke.
Because he's dead, is my point.
Oh, no rush. He's not coming back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss Austin,
and he was
too.
Sweet Bar's friend, so that's an extra knife.
You give him a knife in the gut. No, I do. And I think I remember the place. I can't remember the name of it, and I know exactly where it is. Handsome Coffee? No. Something else.
Doesn't matter. I don't.
Doesn't matter until I make a big deal out of it.
Perush says, how many more James Mason requests before Josh goes full network? I can't take it anymore.
He told me before the show it's the only thing that keeps him alive are the James Mason requests.
I want him to live on. M. Deadsome Ledsome says, not a question this time, just a thanks for making my week better each week. Andy, hope things have settled down with your mom. J. Elvis, hope your back is not too bad at the minute. Thanks for spiraling and making funny noises that shock my dog Torgo.
Hauga! Thank you, Em.
Hello, Torgo. Hello.
Hello.
Torgo.
Toggle.
Sit.
Oh, walkie. Walkies.
Walkies.
Current.
Come on, walkies. Walkies. Come on, walkies.
Well, I'm Jimmy Stewart, Em, and I, no, thank you very much.
Why, you're just a dog.
I'm glad that I cheer you up, and especially, well, I don't know if you said cheer up. I just feel glad that I can bring happiness to anyone. Because that's what I said to my wife on my woo.
I think we're out of questions here.
You know what? It's
certainly
unbelievable.
are out
We've
of
only
time.
been doing a 4-hour show.
I know you wanted to stretch us till your birthday, but I just can't do it anymore.
I know. It's unbelievable. I'm already thinking of the big surprise at home. Well, thank you, Josh, for the birthday.
Happy birthday. I love you.
I love you, too.
If you guys out there love us, go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspiral and buy us a coffee for Andy's birthday. Or buy my album for my birthday.
Or see
Chunks
me.
is my
Chunks.
album.
I don't know why I cut you off. Chunks.
Check out The Fiddling Horse if you're in San Jose this weekend at the Golden Gate Film Festival.
And me in Seattle on Friday,
November
1st.
November 1st, day after Halloween, go see Andy in Seattle at
Laughs.
At Laughs.
Comedy Club. Laughs Comedy Club of the University District. Why am I so weird? And then I'll be in Lincoln, Nebraska the following week. And I know you don't know anything on where I'm going.
No, it's all good. You're plugging. That's good.
No, but I mean, it's like, obviously I'm... And then also, don't forget things like that.
If you want to get a hold of us during the week, write us at thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com. If you want to help us without paying a dime, go to Apple, iTunes,
That's
and
right.
Leave a great review for us. I noticed that another couple of you did this week.
That's
Thank you
great.
for that. We'll be back next week, having been movie stars in New York City. Hopefully, we won't be sad.
I hope so. No, we're gonna. No matter what happens, we still have to go back to our careers.
Oh, shit.
No, I'm looking forward to this.
I am too. It's going to be fun.
See you next week.
See you in the town where the cotton candy grapes never sleep, baby.